What if I told you the empire Jay-Z spent decades building could be on the verge of collapse? Not from rival rappers, not from the music industry, but from the courtroom. A billion-dollar judgment has cracked open doors he fought to keep locked, and the fallout could reach every corner of his life. From Beyoncé's carefully polished brand to the very foundation of Roc Nation, nothing looks safe anymore. But as shocking as the headlines sound, the whispers behind the scenes are even darker. Could this be the scandal that finally topples hip-hop's most untouchable mogul? The world has seen celebrities sued before. We've seen payouts, settlements, even massive judgments. But this? This was different. Ramir, a man who spent years insisting Jay-Z was his biological father, walked out of court not with a story, but with a victory. A legal judgment so staggering it made jaws drop across the entertainment industry. $1.6 billion. And this wasn't a quiet settlement hidden behind confidentiality agreements. No, this was public, official, and impossible to spin away. That number, written in legal ink, sent shockwaves through boardrooms, backstage VIP lounges, and even Beyoncé's own household. For a billionaire like Jay-Z, people assume the money will always keep flowing. But let's be real, even at his level, $1.6 billion isn't loose change. That kind of payout doesn't just sting, it destabilizes everything. Suddenly, Roc Nation's tour revenues, streaming deals, endorsement contracts, and brand partnerships aren't secure assets, they're bargaining chips. Industry insiders are whispering that this could mean asset liquidations, forced sales of titles, record rights, even those luxury beverage stakes he flaunted for years. And once investors sense blood in the water, confidence collapses fast. Jay-Z isn't just dealing with financial risk here, he's facing the kind of pressure that reshapes legacies. But the fallout isn't just about numbers, because the courtroom blow didn't just target Jay-Z's wallet. It hit his family, his brand, and his carefully curated image of control. And nowhere is that more visible than in the life of the woman standing beside him, Beyoncé. For years, Beyoncé has been the embodiment of flawless control. Every public appearance is rehearsed to perfection. Every brand partnership polished until it gleams. She doesn't just perform, she orchestrates. But now, her marriage to Jay-Z has been thrust into the kind of spotlight she can't dim with a music video or a surprise tour announcement. Sources close to the couple describe her as pacing marble floors in what they call controlled chaos. Because make no mistake, this isn't just a scandal, it's a billion-dollar humiliation certified by the courts, and Beyoncé knows better than anyone that brand value isn't just about music, it's about optics. Behind closed doors, whispers say she's laid down an ultimatum. Handle this before it detonates, or I'll reconsider everything. To Beyoncé, this isn't simply about loyalty or love, it's about survival. Her tours fuel economies. Her name sells fragrance, fashion, even film projects. If she stays aligned with Jay-Z while headlines scream about billion-dollar payouts and alleged underage scandals, she risks seeing her empire dragged down alongside his. And yet, walking away isn't simple either. Imagine the backlash if she filed for divorce while he was under fire. She'd be branded as abandoning him in crisis, painted as cold, strategic, or worse, disloyal. Every move she makes is a trap, and every day her silence stretches. Her brand bleeds value by association. This is the impossible choice Beyoncé now faces. Stay and risk the crown she spent decades building, or leave and risk being seen as the queen who walked away when the empire cracked. Either path is dangerous, and the longer she waits, the more dangerous it gets. But just when it seemed like the billion-dollar judgment was the peak of the chaos, another bombshell surfaced, one that could ignite an even bigger scandal. Because Ramir wasn't the only one claiming Jay-Z as a secret father. And this time, the story runs even deeper. Ramir's billion-dollar courtroom win wasn't just a victory for him, it cracked open a door Jay-Z had spent years bolting shut. Because almost immediately, another name began circulating again. Lida M. Sur. For years, Lida has insisted she's Jay-Z's daughter. Her claims were brushed off, dismissed in public, ignored by Jay himself. But Ramir's triumph changed everything. Suddenly, her story doesn't sound like distant gossip. It sounds like the next headline waiting to drop. Lida's story isn't vague. She's spoken about growing up in a small town where everyone knew Jay-Z was her father, about her mother's struggles with illness, about raising her own siblings while carrying this secret. And then came the whispers, rumors that Jay-Z bought her a home in Maryland, quietly paying her bills under the condition she kept his photo off the walls. Think about the optics. A billionaire mogul accused not just of dodging one paternity claim, but possibly managing multiple. If Lida decides to revive her case now, Jay-Z could be staring down not one, but two simultaneous paternity battles. That isn't just legal trouble, it's a chain reaction. Every unverified rumor, every claim once ignored, suddenly gets new life. And that's the nightmare scenario. Because in today's media climate, once a story picks up momentum, it doesn't matter if it's proven yet. Speculation spreads like wildfire. And in the court of public opinion, perception is reality. And even more explosive are claims from people in Lida's circle, alleging Jay-Z has been financially supporting her in secret for years. If evidence of that ever surfaced, bank transfers, property records, anything tangible, the narrative would shift instantly. Jay-Z wouldn't look like a man unfairly targeted. He'd look like a man caught red-handed. And with Ramir's courtroom victory fresh in everyone's mind, the industry is already buzzing with one question. If there are two, could there be more? Because for years, whispers about hidden children followed Jay-Z. Most faded away. But with the dam finally cracked, every old rumor is coming back to life. And the more names resurface, the harder it becomes for him to silence them all. But this isn't just about family secrets anymore. Because while these stories explode in the headlines, the ripple effects are already hitting the business world. And the fallout there might be even worse. The music industry thrives on perception. Power, influence, stability. These aren't just buzzwords, they're currency. And when a billion-dollar judgment crashes down on one of its biggest moguls, the whispers begin immediately. Behind closed doors, investors are said to be holding emergency meetings. Luxury brands that once flaunted Jay-Z's image in glossy campaigns are reportedly scrubbing his face from upcoming rollouts. And one high-profile partnership has already been quietly suspended until further notice. It's not about guilt or innocence anymore. In the entertainment business, perception always comes first. And right now, Jay-Z is being painted not as untouchable, but as unstable. Even allies are noticing. Rihanna, arguably one of Rock Nation's greatest success stories, has kept quiet. Kanye, who has swung between calling Jay-Z a brother and a rival, has remained silent too. In fact, many of Jay's longtime collaborators have chosen a strategy that speaks louder than words: say nothing at all. Because in this climate, silence isn't apathy, it's self-preservation. But not everyone is staying quiet. 50 Cent, never one to waste an opportunity, has been gleefully stoking the fire. On social media, he's turned Jay-Z's refusal to take a DNA test into a meme-driven spectacle, cracking jokes, taunting him, and amplifying the scandal for millions to see. And while the jokes may seem petty, they cut deep. Because when a rival of equal stature publicly mocks you, it signals to the entire industry that your aura of invincibility has cracked. Corporate boardrooms don't like uncertainty. And right now, Jay-Z embodies uncertainty. Every headline, every whisper, every meme erodes confidence in the empire he built. From Rock Nation's sports division to Tidal, from luxury drinks to publishing, every deal suddenly feels shaky. And while Jay-Z may be trying to keep his head down, Beyonce's brand is even more fragile. For her, the fallout isn't just about reputation, it's about billions in global revenue tied directly to her image. Which is why, according to insiders, she's already pushing for a decision before the spiral becomes irreversible. But even if Beyonce manages to shield her empire, Jay-Z faces a deeper problem. Because once the industry begins to believe there's a pattern of hidden scandals, the past doesn't stay buried. It comes back with sharper teeth. For years, Jay-Z's strategy was simple: say nothing, do nothing, and let the lawyers handle the rest. Refuse DNA tests, brush off allegations, and keep the spotlight on the music. the business, the billion-dollar lifestyle. At first, it worked. Fans saw the silence as strength, a power move that made him seem untouchable. But after Ramir's billion-dollar courtroom win, that silence looks very different. What once felt like privacy now feels like defiance. And defiance makes people wonder, what exactly is he hiding? The refusal to take a DNA test isn't just a legal tactic anymore. It's the smoking gun of public suspicion. If Jay-Z had nothing to fear, why not prove it and move on? That's the question echoing through social media, talk shows, and industry boardrooms. And with Leda Mansour's claims resurfacing, it's no longer just one man demanding answers. It's a pattern. And patterns are dangerous, because the moment the public believes there's a trail of hidden scandals, every rumor gets a second life. Old whispers about underage relationships, stories of quiet payouts, gossip about secret children never acknowledged. None of it stays buried when people think they've seen proof of one. Industry veterans are already asking the uncomfortable question, if there are two, could there be more? And every no comment from Jay-Z's team only fuels the speculation further. It's a perfect storm of perception. Courts don't bend to celebrity mystique, and fans don't forgive patterns of dishonesty. What was once a fortress of silence is now being interpreted as a fortress built to hide something. And that fortress isn't just protecting Jay-Z's personal image, it's protecting his family. Because while the industry speculates, the real pressure is falling on Beyonce, who now faces the hardest balancing act of her life. Beyonce isn't just a superstar, she's a global brand. Her tours move economies, her fashion lines set trends, her very name sells out products before they even hit shelves. But right now, that empire is under threat, not from her own actions, but from her husband's unraveling legacy. For Beyonce, the stakes couldn't be higher. If she stands by Jay-Z while billion-dollar judgments, paternity battles, and scandalous rumors pile up, her pristine image risks collapsing under the weight of association. Luxury partners don't care about loyalty, they care about optics. And optics right now? They're toxic. Yet walking away comes with its own dangers. Divorce, especially one of this magnitude, isn't just personal, it's global news. Imagine the headlines. Beyonce leaves Jay-Z after billion-dollar court loss. The public backlash could paint her as cold, opportunistic, or even disloyal. For someone whose brand is built on empowerment and unity, that's a dangerous narrative to fuel. So Beyonce is caught on a tightrope. If she stays, she risks bleeding value by association. If she leaves, she risks being branded as the queen who abandoned her king in crisis. Either way, she faces losing control of the narrative, something she's spent her entire career mastering. Insiders claim she's already running out of patience. Rumors of exploratory calls to divorce attorneys are spreading, and whispers of private ultimatums to Jay-Z grow louder. Settle this, end it, or I reconsider everything. For Beyonce, this isn't just about marriage, it's about survival. And if she makes the wrong move, the collapse of her brand could rival even Jay-Z's. But while Beyonce weighs her options, the industry around them is already shifting. Because in Hollywood and hip-hop alike, silence and loyalty are beginning to fracture, and the survival instinct is kicking in. In the entertainment world, silence isn't always golden, it's strategic. And right now, Jay-Z's silence has created a ripple effect across the entire industry. Some of his closest collaborators, people who once praised him publicly, have vanished from the conversation altogether. Rihanna, whose career soared under Roc Nation, has said nothing. Kanye West, a man who never holds back, has also chosen not to speak. Their silence is deafening, and it speaks to one thing: self-preservation. Because in Hollywood, loyalty only goes so far. Every celebrity, every mogul, every partner is asking the same question. If Jay-Z falls, who's next? The entertainment industry is built on a fragile web of shared ventures, private deals, and mutual secrets. And if one titan goes down in flames, it has the power to drag others with him. That's why silence is the safest bet. If you defend Jay-Z, you risk going down with him. If you attack him, you risk retaliation from his still powerful network. But if you say nothing, you survive. Not everyone has chosen silence, though. 50 Cent has used the chaos as ammunition. mocking Jay-Z's refusal to take a DNA test, turning the scandal into meme-driven entertainment. To him, it's more than trolling. It's a strategy, because every jab he throws weakens Jay-Z's armor, making him look less like a mogul and more like a man cornered by truth. And that's the real danger. Perception is shifting. Jay-Z once embodied control, influence, and unshakable dominance. Now he's the symbol of uncertainty, and when uncertainty spreads, business partners back away. Endorsement deals stall. Investors rethink contracts, and even allies begin to calculate when to quietly walk out of the room. Industry insiders say it's not just about protecting themselves, it's about protecting the system. If Jay-Z collapses under the weight of scandals, the precedent it sets could shake the industry to its core. Private behavior turning into public liability, that terrifies people who built their careers on secrets staying buried. So survival mode has taken over. Silence, distance, calculated neutrality. Everyone is watching Jay-Z bleed, but no one wants to get their hands dirty in the fallout. And that leaves him standing increasingly alone. But while the industry circles the wagons, Jay-Z himself is facing the ultimate decision. Because the empire he built is now standing at a crossroads, and one wrong move could decide whether it survives or shatters. Jay-Z has always thrived on control. Control of his music, his image, his business empire. But right now, that control is slipping through his fingers. The billion-dollar judgment wasn't just a blow to his wallet. It was a crack in the myth of invincibility he's built for decades. And now, he stands at a crossroads. One path leads to survival. Use his wealth, power, and connections to settle cases quietly, to silence claims before they spiral, to stabilize an empire that looks shakier every day. It wouldn't be the first time he used influence to weather a storm, and if anyone has the network to pull it off, it's Jay-Z. But the other path is darker. If more paternity cases surface, if Lita Massour pushes her story into court, if another scandal emerges before he even recovers from this one, the momentum could become unstoppable. Lawsuits pile up. Investors walk away. Beyonce, exhausted from the constant damage control, decides she's had enough. And suddenly, what was once the most powerful couple in music becomes a cautionary tale. The danger isn't just financial, it's cultural. Jay-Z's story has always been framed as the blueprint, a hustler who became a billionaire mogul, a man who turned the streets into an empire. But if that blueprint collapses under the weight of hidden scandals, it rewrites more than his legacy. It reshapes the entire narrative of hip-hop power. Because here's the truth. Empires don't usually fall in one blow. They crumble, piece by piece. Confidence eroded, allies backing away, secrets turning into headlines, and Jay-Z is running out of pieces to lose. So we're left with the question that no one can answer yet. Will Jay-Z pull off one more comeback, leveraging money and influence to hold everything together? Or is this the scandal that finally brings down the man who seemed untouchable? Either way, the next headline could be the one that changes everything. So what do you think? Is this the end of Jay-Z's empire? Or just another chapter in his survival story? Drop your thoughts below, because this isn't just gossip, it's history in the making. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and keep watching. Because if this story has taught us anything, it's that the next twist always comes when you least expect it.